What's up, everyone? It's your boy BLAZEDxENFERNO.
And I'm Eknight117, and welcome to the BLAZEDxENFERNO Gaming Podcast. You are listening to the special episode 69.
Nice. Nice. We are recording this episode, what's this, 9/19, so like a day or two before it drops. I don't know when this episode is going to drop. It might drop Wednesday, might drop Thursday. I got to get to, making some time for it and stuff like that. But yeah, this is episode 69. Nice.
You're gonna be saying nice throughout this whole fucking
shit. We got a dope show here for you today, man. If you're new to this show, just know you can listen to us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more. Links in the description. Check out our personal links as well. And as always, make sure you like the show or rate the show 5 stars by Apple, Spotify, and like the YouTube version on YouTube at BLAZEDxENFERNO. That's the page that it's on.
Yep.
But yeah, man. Yeah. Episode 69.
Nice.
We here, man. We're going to be talking about a lot of stuff on this episode. This might be kind of a lengthy episode. The last episode we literally just dedicated to talking about Starfield. I talked about Starfield because I played it early. Eknight here finally got the chance to play it because it's out everywhere. And, there's, a bunch of mixed reviews about it, even though, the game is just
it's mostly positive.
It's mostly positive, but, there's a lot of weird hate and stuff over this game. I don't know. But, Eknight, we don't care about none of that. Eknight, how have you been liking the game so far?
It's pretty solid so far. I really do enjoy my time in this game, mainly because a lot of quest lines I think are pretty fucking interesting. I didn't realize you could get a certain aspect or unlock a certain aspect about your character till maybe I think halfway through my 50 hours. So I was playing the game like I was just a normal dude for most part. And then I got to a certain point in the main quest line and it was like, oh, hey, you got this these new abilities now. And I'm like, cool. Now I can hunt these down and track these down.
Yeah, the game gets that was my one complaint. I was like, damn, I'm just kind of tired of being this regular dude. I need something. It needs something. And that was it for me right there. Once we got that, I was like, okay. This game is fire, dog.
Yeah, I didn't mind just being a normal dude in the universe that had a crazy space drug trip accident on a mine one day. Because that's not even out of the norm for most of the characters in the Bethesda games. So I was like, damn, I'm really just an NPC just doing shit.
Yeah.
I have ascended.
That's what a lot of people say is their favorite thing about Oblivion. Oblivion, if you really think about it, you're just some random guy. You don't even kill the main bad guy. You're just there.
Yeah, you're just kind of there. But also with Oblivion, there is a theory out there that you're basically just Sheogorath.
You are Sheogorath. Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't find out about that till 20 years later.
So, if you play the Shivering Isles DLC, it literally tells you it's you take up the mantle as Sheogorath.
Yeah, but that happens after technically the main game.
The Oblivion Crisis.
Mm-hmm. So I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. I'm Sheogorath now. I'm talking about during the events of the Oblivion Crisis. Apparently, you actually were just an aspect of Sheogorath the whole time.
That's something I might have to look into.
Because technically, you would be the third aspect because the Grey Order dude. Spoilers for the DLC of a game that came out 20 years ago. Yeah, I think his name was Jigalag. He the Grey Knight dude that comes over.
Yeah, that's the Dangerous Prince of Order.
Yeah, that dude is also Sheogorath. It's just he was split off.
Yeah.
So it's weird, but at the same time, it's kind of cool. So like it's kind of what I like about Bethesda games. Most of the time, they're the back lore or the backstory for the game is shrouded in mystery. So like it kind of warrants a second or third or fifth or 839 playthrough for a game that you've already beaten to exhaustion. I mean, I did that shit with Oblivion. I did that shit with Skyrim. And I'm planning on doing that shit with Starfield because my first playthrough has been pretty good. I enjoy a lot of the just side quests. I keep getting sidetracked with doing shit, and it's mainly the reason why I haven't progressed that much in the main story up until like recently. So like, and there's a bunch of like major quest lines that I don't think I have done yet. Like I haven't started the Space Pirate quest line at all, and I haven't really delved too deeply into Neon. Like that whole area is kind of just I just did not touch it that much because I
Neon
was
has a lot going on with it. It has a bunch of just regular side quests and then like a faction side quest. Now that we're talking about it, not to cut you off, did you do anything with the Freestar Collective?
I was a space cowboy,
Okay, all right. Yeah, that's like the only like
but
quest line for them, I guess.
but I haven't really fully explored everything.
Apparently, people don't fuck with the Freestar Collective. They don't like the UC don't fuck with them.
No, they
So,
don't because they're
they went
pretty
to war and shit.
yeah. But I did enlist in the UC, and I gotta tell you it's one of my favorite quest lines. Like at least the very first mission they send you on is one of my favorites.
Yeah, I might have to. I'm telling you, I completely skipped that, and I don't know why. I meant to do it, but
dude, I also like in the beginning I was like, "Fuck this shit, I don't care." And fuck the army, I'm not joining Space Army just yet. And then I came back and fucking joined because it was just extra dialogue with the one dude, and I was like, "All right, I'll join. Fuck it, whatever." They're like, yeah, your first mission, you gotta do the training first, and then after that, you go on your first mission. And I was like, oh, okay. I did the training. Training was pretty cool. They put you in a pilot sim, and then they send me out on a first mission, and then everything went wrong. And I liked that. I was hooked on the quest line after that.
yeah, I got to do that, John, man.
That John was fucking hilarious, but it was also like scary as fuck too.
So for me, guys, I talked about Starfield the majority of the last podcast, so I ain't got nothing to add other than the fact that I beat the main quest. I've essentially, quote unquote, beat the game, even though we really can't talk about the new game plus yet, because honest to God, the new game plus within itself is like a spoiler. So we're probably gonna wait to talk about the new game plus for like at least another month or two. Because like
Yeah,
the way
it's gonna take me that long to beat
yeah,
this and then go back and play it again.
not only that, because the thing that I've been telling a lot of people is like, if you want to play this game, you gonna find a way to play. Like you gonna buy an Xbox, or you gonna get it on your PC. Like you gonna find a way to play this shit.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna find a way to play. So if by a month, and I'm not saying you have to have the game beat, but at least because there's a lot of things that hint to what the new game plus is, because they were like very vague with the new game plus. They're like, oh yeah, this game has a new game plus, but they were like, it's not a new game plus. So it's like, all right, what the fuck is it? So the main quest kind of explains what the new game plus is. And once you figure it out, it's like, oh, that's kind of dope. And once you actually get to it, it's like, that's even crazier, dog. Like that is dope. And I'm doing my second playthrough. Technically, second playthrough. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's dope. You lose everything. You get a new set of armor, a new ship, but you lose everything. Your credits, everything. The only thing you keep is your level. So I finished the game at level 35. So I'm level 35 now with all of my skills and everything. So I'm excited because I'm just going to literally do this playthrough, everything that I didn't do, and I'm going to do the shit that I already did again, but with the different outcomes so I can see
Damn, we kind
what
of
the other
lose
side looks
everything
like.
now. I'm kind of sad about
Yeah,
that.
you lose everything. But the thing about it is it gives you the option. It's like, hey, you can like not, but it's like it's one of those things where it's like, you know you want to, dog. Like you like the way they explain it to you, it's like you're gonna be like, yeah, I want to peep that. I want to peep that. So it's pretty dope, man. Like I said, Starfield is dog, it's my game of the year, dog. Like I'm not look, I played Baldur's Gate, guys. I played it.
You barely played it. Don't
I
even lie.
barely played it. I barely
Don't
played
lie.
it.
You refunded it because you were
I
like,
refunded it. I
I
refunded it. And before people kill me, I refunded it because at first I wasn't even going to buy that game. I was going to buy something else because I wanted to save Baldur's Gate for another time. Like I know it's another game I'm going to be putting a lot of hours into that I just don't have the time for right now. Like I'm going through some. I'm going through a change of things in real life right now that I think I've talked about on stream. I'm looking at a new job, stuff like that. You know what I mean? Blah, blah, blah. So it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, I don't think I have time for another 80, 100, 200 plus hour RPG when I'm already playing one. So it's like, I'm going to just stick to this for now. And then maybe next month or November, I'm going to pick up Baldur's Gate. But I did buy Baldur's Gate because I was bullied into buying it. And I bought it and I played like an hour of it, actually 69 minutes of it.
nice.
You know what I mean? 69 minutes of it. And it was cool. Like I could tell that I really am gonna like that game when I decide to pick it back up to play it again later. But I'm telling you, I didn't refund it because I didn't like it. I literally refunded it because I wanted to buy something else. I'm definitely gonna get that game. Definitely getting that. But regardless if I played it or not, I can just tell just because I've waited a long time for Starfield, though. I've waited a long time for this game. We finally got it, and I'm gonna keep it real with you. It hit everything I needed it to hit. So for it just doing that, it's my game of the year, dog. It's my game of the
For
year.
me, I think it's a solid space RPG that Bethesda put out, and sci-fi is definitely my jam. So like when it comes to this game, and a lot of the reviews that were negative is like a lot of people compare it to No Man's Sky. I didn't think it was going to be anything like No Man's Sky when it was going to come out. To be honest with you, the moment I saw Bethesda, I was like, nope, this game's going to be. It's either going to be janky as fuck, or it's going to be like just a shitload of locations that you can go to. Like I didn't think it was going to be like seamless space to Earth or planet side transition or anything like that. But then again, after the last couple Bethesda games that came out that kind of sucked, my expectations were 100% tempered. I was expecting this game to be kind of shit when it came out. And I was pleasantly surprised that I did not experience any of the issues that a lot of PC players were having issues with. So, for all in all, my enjoyment of Starfield has been pretty positive.
I got no issues, no performance issues at all.
I think it's gonna like the mileage of this game is gonna vary by person to person. If you were expecting like a Elite Dangerous blend with Star Citizen, this is definitely not that game. I think it's sim-ish. I don't think it's simulation based at all. Like it's got some sim systems, but it's really not that type of game. It is 100% a Bethesda RPG.
Complex. Yeah.
It is. You find an exploit in the game, you exploit it. Fuck it. Like,
yeah, real shit.
Don't feel too bad about it. Don't be like, oh man, like I don't want to exploit. And it's like, nah, that's the whole point of these games is just to have fun. It's usually a power fantasy. But the what usually draws me in is the storylines that you can experience through the quest lines that they set up.
Yeah, you can steal one of the best armors in the game.
Oh yeah, I stole that shit, and then I got better armor, and I was like, oh, okay, and I just put that shit in my ship and just left it.
Yeah. Like I said, man, I prefer out of like Fallout in the Elder Scrolls series, I've always been an Elder Scrolls person, but I think like Starfield is definitely in my eyes, a good replacement for Fallout. Not saying that it will. I know they're not going to do that, but
I think the only thing I was disappointed by was when you went back to the Sol system and I went to Earth. This is a very minor spoiler because y'all will figure this out in the first like few hours of the game. If you're actually curious, Earth is like a desolate wasteland.
Yeah,
there are no locations on Earth.
Yeah, and there's a location. You'll figure that out later, dog.
Shut the fuck up.
You won't figure out everything in very soon, dog.
But what I want to say is that they could have had an opportunity for like an Easter egg for like a Fallout 4 reference.
That's exactly what I was thinking, dog. I was like, why didn't they do that? Like, why didn't they try to do
even if it was like a randomly generated thing? Like the opportunity is there. Because it's supposed to take place in the same universe as Fallout, is under my understanding. So, like, there should be an opportunity there, and like there's a Skyrim reference. I know, I believe
there's a bunch of them.
Yeah, like especially the one dude that's like the Imperial Guard. And I'm pretty sure he'll probably, I don't know. I haven't seen anything online about it. Maybe people haven't found it yet, or maybe it just doesn't exist. But I want him to say his line from Oblivion while you're talking to him. That would be hilarious. No, from Oblivion.
But you violated the law.
Yeah, that dude. That would have been fucking great. But fucking no, I there's a few missed opportunities for like just a little Easter eggs here and there. Procedurally generated planets, they're about what you would expect from any game with procedural generation. Like even No Man's Sky struggled to an aspect of procedural generation with all their creatures being dick plants or like weird lizard things. And all their planets either being like one note biomes and shit, but they have improved that since. But if Bethesda's trying to improve that, which I doubt they're going to even bother with, really, even with DLC and shit, I think it's going to be. It is what it is. To me, it's just extra content you can do if you feel like it. I do love going to nice looking planets and like just landing on a spot randomly and just walking around and taking in the sights. It is pretty fucking good.
It is nice.
Yeah.
Trying to tell y'all, man, this game is decent, dog.
Also, the ships that land on the planet that are you could pretty much steal most of them.
Yeah, you steal a lot of them.
Yeah, no, I did that. That shit was hilarious. That shit took off while I was on board, and I was so confused. And fucking, we were in space, and I was like, "Why are we in space? We were just on the planet's surface. Why am I here?" And fucking, so I'm like, basically like, "Fuck, dude." Like I'm like, where's my ship? All my shit's on the ship. Now I'm here. I can't fast travel because I'm fucking fighting. I have to fight my way out and basically steal this ship that I was just trying to check out. And it was great.
That's why I maxed out my stealth, boy. Just so when them ships land on the planet, I could be like, all right.
Nah, bro, I was floating through and just shooting everybody.
That's a good joint. When you're on a planet and a pirate ship lands, you just take that shit over, take it to New Atlantis. If you like it, you keep it. If not, you sell it.
They need to. I wonder if there is a planet that's like, they don't scan you for contraband, but it's like a major shipyard. That would be dope. I forget what planet that is. There is a planet that does that. Now that I'm thinking about that,
that has a major shipyard.
Mm-hmm. That you can like sell ships and stuff.
The only place I know.
It's the one where you do that one thing for the Freestar Collective. You have to do it. It's like it's a gambler's den. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that one they don't scan your ship, so you can't get arrested.
Yeah, I never got caught with contraband.
I did. That's how I started the Space Pirate quest line.
Yeah, the way I started it was kind of It's crazy because I thought it was part of the main quest that I was doing. I
Yeah.
was like, oh shit, because I just stole something, so I was like, all right, yeah, I mean, this is part of the mission, and I was just like, oh shit, this has a different icon. This
No.
is a whole nother quest line.
No, but a lot of the quest lines that you discover are usually like just organically because of the main quest line, which is
Yeah,
usually how things go in Bethesda style games. But on a note, to me, game solid 8, 9 out of 10 so far. I haven't finished it yet. That score may change the next time we talk about it. Because by then I would hope to have done New Game Plus and everything. So, but yeah, I enjoy it so far. Is it Game of the Year material? I think it'll get nominated. I still think Baldur's Gate's gonna win it though. There's a lot to that game.
Yeah.
And it does a lot of things that modern games don't do anymore.
Facts.
So
Facts.
yeah, no. But
Starfield's still an 11 out of 12 to me. Or 11 out of 10 to me. I mean, the game is everything I wanted it to be, man. But let's chill with the Starfield, all right, y'all, because we did that all last episode. This episode, like I said, we're gonna be talking about a lot of the things that we missed on the last episode. So we're kind of going back in time with a few things. All right, we were gonna talk about Gamescom. Because some games got announced, but that's really all we're going to talk about is what they announced. We're going to talk about a little bit of Call of Duty. I know y'all don't want to talk about Call of Duty, but Call of Duty did get like officially announced within the last podcast that we talked about it. It comes out November 10th.
Yeah, no, I'm not. So, I am not excited for that, unfortunately.
On 67, we kind of talked about it pretty deeply, and we just kind of talked about leaks. Now the game is confirmed. It's coming out. We're getting Modern Warfare 3. I'm gonna pull it up actually. Like I said, we're not gonna spend too much time on this because they've been actively showing us stuff. It's not this went from leaks to, you know, hey, this is happening to like, no, this shit is happening. Like we've gotten concept art of all 16 maps that are coming out. We've gotten hints that Zombies is coming out. We've got actual leaked gameplay of Zombies. Like I've seen what it looked like. It looked pretty good. But we got a lot. So I'm gonna just kind of go over Modern Warfare 3, everything we know. You know what I mean? Type deal. You know what I mean? So the release date for this is November 10th. Like I said, it's coming out on PlayStation 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, and PS4. I mean, it will be coming out on last gen. It's going to be releasing for yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's coming out on last gen.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's either going to run like shit or it's going to be like weirdly good. No, unless it's exactly like the last game, which this is
what I think it is. What I think it is.
That's what I think it is too. I think it's the same fucking. I think they're just doing what classic Modern Warfare 2 did. It's the same game assets.
This is an expansion. This is literally an expansion, dog. At least Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3 in the day were different. They actually played different. Like everything was different.
No, everything was different in Modern Warfare 1 too.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is like visually and engine wise, it was like the exact same game.
Yeah, kind of.
Reused assets. Like we compare Call of Duty 4 to Modern Warfare 2. It's same assets. There's no jump in graphic fidelity. There's no. Yeah, they added new guns and maps.
This is a full on expansion, dog. Like this is not what you think it is. This is an expansion. All right, this is a fucking expansion. It's $70. Or you could buy the Vault Edition. They're doing the Vault Edition again. It comes with a bunch of extras. I forget what the extras are. I know you get like a weapons vault, kind of like how you did with Modern Warfare 2.
Mhm.
2022, you got like a weapons vault. I think it was called the FJX Cinder. But this shit, it's like something else. And you get like 2 guns, like fully, like
That's
basically all their
I'm gonna
attachments
pick it up when it
in the
goes on
rep.
sale. That's about it. I did not enjoy Modern Warfare 2 that much. The
Really?
remake. No, because I'm pretty sure we talked about it. I was like, comparing it to the original, it's really not all
All
that
right.
in the bag of chips
So
to me.
boom, the reason why I wanted to talk about this before we get into the leaks and stuff, right? I'm gonna just because this is what everybody keeps asking me, like, are you excited for this game? Are you excited for this game? Blaze, you play a lot of Call of Duty on stream. I have like 600 fucking hours in Modern Warfare 2 2022. I have a lot of hours in this fucking game. I put a lot into the game. I actively play on and off stream. So a lot of people are like, yo, are you excited for this game? And at first, initially, no. Because I was like, dog, they're literally about to make us spend $70 or $100. Because the $100 version, like I said, you get the weapons vault, you get some skins, and then you get the first battle pass black cell, which is what I buy every season. I'll be buying it next week when the season 6 comes out. Season 6 for Modern Warfare 2. I'll be buying the black cell for that. That's what I do. I buy the black cell. I like the black cell content. I like what you get out of it. Yeah. So at first when they announced this, I was like, all right. When we were talking about the leaks, right? I was like, okay, I don't know how I feel about this. But then the leaks became a lot bigger. Like they were like, okay, Outbreak Zombies is coming. Outbreak Zombies was lit from Cold War. If you played Cold War, you know Outbreak Zombies is like an open world zombie experience. It's not like the round based zombie experience that we were used to up until that point. Outbreak was like an open world zombies experience where you completed a bunch of objectives on this big ass map. Big ass maps, I should say, because the maps changed. You went through different realities and stuff. It was a lot, but Outbreak Zombies was dope. They were talking about zombies, they were talking about a campaign, and then they were talking about multiplayer maps, then they were talking about new guns and stuff. So then when they finally announced this game, and then I felt like Activision had to show people, okay, this is why it's worth your $70. And that's what they started doing all over their social media pages. They're like, hey, we're gonna tease at zombies. So you get to get a look at what zombies looks like. They showed off the campaign briefly through the trailer during the Gamescom thing. What else did they show? They showed off all 16 maps for the Modern Warfare 3, which are all Modern Warfare 2 maps remade. They're all Modern Warfare 2 maps remade. And if you know anything about Modern Warfare 2, the original from 2009, that is probably my favorite Call of Duty game. It has some of the best maps. So I knew personally this game was going to be a fucking bang. Like I knew just from them saying, yo, we're giving y'all 16 of the classic maps that we said we were going to give you during Modern Warfare 2, because they did say we're going to get like Terminal, Rust. We didn't get none of that shit. Now we're getting in Modern Warfare 3. I was like, man, it's kind of fucked up, but not going to lie. And this is a hot take, dog. This is a hot take. And it's crazy because another YouTuber said the same thing, but this has the potential to be like the best Call of Duty we probably ever got.
I feel like I hear that every time a Call of Duty game comes out.
You probably do, especially with Modern Warfare 2. When this came out, a lot of people thought like this was the one. But I think this is the one only for the sole fact that I feel like they're listening. They're like listening to us. Like they've everything we've complained about, they've started to actively fix. A huge majority of the community like slide canceling. I've learned to not like slide canceling anymore. Like I like how it is now. Like I still feel Call of Duty is still fast paced without the slide canceling, but people like it. So I think they found like a nice little middle ground because people that have played an early build of the game or seen leak gameplay, the slide cancel feels like the old slide cancel, but it's like not the old slide cancel. So it's like it gives both people what they want. I think they're bringing back reloading while sprinting, which was something that was only in Cold War, all right, and in older Call of
That should
Duties
just be in
before that.
most games. I think it should
Like,
just make the reload take a little longer.
yeah, reload while sprinting is coming back, which was something I missed, like I said, since Cold War, because that was like really good. It's just like a lot of things they've talked about, like new Warzone maps, guns, of course, the way that they vault guns and do certain things. So it's like it just seems like they've been listening to the core Call of Duty community, because I think for the last couple games the problem was they were it was like 1 minute they were listening to the pros and then the next minute they were listening to the casuals. I think what they need to do is they need to stop listening to everybody who just got a complaint and listen to the people who just play the game. Like listen to the people.
Well, I mean,
who
like
have,
the pros do play the shit out of the game, but
they do, but I feel like it needs to be a nice little balance, and I think that they figured that out. Like you can't just like the problem with Apex, right? The biggest problem Apex has is that Apex is literally ran by the hardcore community, meaning the pros, everybody who's masters and up. No one else matters, dog. And the thing that hurts Apex in that sense is because Apex is a game where the casuals are the ones that bring the money in. And that's a lot. That's a lot of games. A lot of these free-to-play games, it's the casuals that bring the money in. The pros and all that shit, they get paid most of the time to play the game. They get paid to open Apex packs or buy the new Fortnite skin and wear it.
Yeah, they're essentially
show it
like
off.
an advertisement for the game. Yeah.
So they don't make any money off of them. So when you see them do a 100 pack Apex pack opening, you know what I mean? Like you know what I'm saying? Like that doesn't, they're not getting anything from that other than other people being like, oh my God, he got an heirloom. Let me see if I get a chance to get an heirloom. And then they go do it. I think these games need to focus more on the casuals. I've been saying that with Apex. That's Apex's problem. They've been fixing it because this season of Apex is kind of fire, dog. Maybe we'll talk about that later. This season of Apex is kind of fire. But Modern Warfare 3 seems like they're listening to the pro community and the casuals, but they're not listening to all the fucking white noise. And what I mean by white noise is just the people who just complain just for the sake of it because, you know, it builds interaction on fucking Twitch. I mean, not Twitch, on Twitter. Yeah, because that's a big thing. Like people just farm for interaction on Twitter. So they just say the most outrageous shit. And it gets a bunch of clicks, it gets a bunch of likes, it gets a bunch of bookmarks. So a lot of people start to believe, well, shit, is that like the wave? When it's like, it's really not, dog. Like, I think Modern Warfare 3 has the potential to be the best Call of Duty game we've ever gotten, just for the sole fact that we're getting campaign, multiplayer, zombies, Warzone, DMZ, which DMZ should be coming out of beta. That's what I'm hoping they announce, because as y'all know, I love me some DMZ. So it's like, dog, like you're getting 5 modes within this game, dog. 2 of them are free to play, mind you. DMZ and Warzone are free to play, but you'll be getting 3 exclusive modes within the game. Of course, you'll be getting Spec Ops. They'll probably throw some more Spec Ops in it, some more raids. So you've got a lot of content in this package, dog. And I think that's what I like the most about this new Call of Duty and why I've got 600 hours in it. If I don't feel like playing multiplayer, I play Warzone. If I don't want to play Warzone, I play DMZ. If I don't want to play Call of Duty, I play something else. Yeah, I mean, like it's just like I feel like this game is gonna be what we wanted to be. And am I gonna buy it? I even said it on stream and we watched the trailer together. Yeah, I'm gonna buy it. Of course I'm gonna buy it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna buy it even when even then I was like kind of rocky on it because I'm like, oh man, they kind of fucking us over. But when I really got to thinking about it, like on paper, when you're talking about bullet points on a paper, this has everything in it to be the best Call of Duty game we ever got. The best, dog. Like I said, if we get a new Warzone map, which they've already confirmed, right? We get a new Warzone map. We're going to be getting, which means we're getting a new DMZ map. They revamp DMZ in whatever ways they find, statistically that are going to work for the game mode, because the game mode does have a lot of popularity. Like the one thing about DMZ is you never have, and that's the thing too. With all of these game modes, they have 18 in Modern Warfare 2. They have 18 multiplayer game modes, right? You never have any issue finding a game for any of these game modes, ever. Same thing with Warzone. If I want to play trios, or I want to play solos, or I want to play Al-Mazrah quads, or whatever the case, you always have a chance to find a game. And then the same thing with DMZ. Like people always say, like, "Oh, who plays DMZ?" But I never have a problem finding a game. I'm talking about across all 4 maps. I never have a problem with Al-Mazrah, Building 21, Vondel, Ashika. And I say this to tell you all this. People always say, "Oh, who's still playing COD?" Apparently there's a lot of people, because I'm never having a problem finding a game, dog. And like I said, for them to be able to sustain that type of player base and allow you to always have a game to play no matter what you pick, it just goes to show that the hate ain't real, dog. The hate ain't real, man. And I'm trying to tell you, like, if there's one thing you take away from this podcast, y'all, this episode, is that it's like sometimes you kind of got to ignore the hate, man. Because a lot of these games, like even when we just talked about Starfield, there's all this unnecessary hate around things that are generally good. Yes, there's some generally bad things about both of these games. Starfield has some things that, subjectively to certain people's opinion are bad. I think the game is damn near good. It's perfect. I wouldn't say perfect. It's pretty damn flawless, dog. All right. I think this game is gonna have its flaws. It's not gonna appease to everybody. It's already Call of Duty. It's like the 23rd game in the series. All right. So it's like people are just kind of, they hop on a hate train just because of that. But I do believe like this is gonna be the best Call of Duty. It's gonna outsell the last one, and it's gonna, it's just it's gonna do well, dog. It's gonna do well. You know what I mean? And I do. And I'll eat my words too on that. I do think this will be the best Call of Duty we ever got, dog. Like I think this has the potential to beat Modern Warfare 2019, Modern Warfare 2 2022, Vanguard, maybe Cold War, because Cold War is my favorite out of these past couple Call of Duties besides Modern Warfare 2. It has the potential to be better than Black Ops 4, World War II, going all the way back to Infinite Warfare. Like, dog, we always complain that Black Ops 2 is the last good Call of Duty game we got. I think this is the Call of Duty renaissance, dog. I think this is it. I think this is it, man. And I think it's unfortunate that we had to go through this kind of rough patch beta with the last game. We kind of had to go through this weird beta, and they had to do all these experiments on us as we paid for the game. But I do feel like this is going to be the best Call of Duty game. Not ever, but in a long time, dog. So, yeah, welcome to my TED Talk. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's all I got to say on that, man. Like I said, I think the hate for this is just honest to God, because it's Call of Duty, because it's popular, because it generates clicks, it generates interaction. And I'm, as a content creator, I'm starting to be more wary and learn about that type of content, because I know people that make that type of content and like shame on you because like that shit's like mad corny, dog. It's like you put out things you don't even believe in, hoping that other people believe in it and suck it in or take it in, and it's weird, man. Like,
no, fuck that. Modern Warfare 3 is gonna be trash.
Like,
So,
dog, and again, I think subjectively, like everybody has their opinion in it. It could be the worst fucking Call of Duty ever, but I do think with everything that it's got on the package, like on the package, like if I was trying to sell you the game and I just say, well, we got zombies, we got campaign, we got this, we got that, we got this, we got that, we got this, we got that. It's like, damn, that's a lot of shit, dog.
Yeah,
like, that's a lot of shit.
We'll see when the game comes out in November, but for me personally, I think it's just like I was burned out of Modern Warfare 2 like halfway through its life cycle.
That's because you ain't played DMZ with me, man.
I did play DMZ with you.
We didn't play a lot of DMZ, man.
Man, I played DMZ. I was like, this could be better. I'm like, oh yeah, Tarkov exists. Marauders exist, bro. Like, what you talking about?
I think those two games, and me and Coyote talk about this a lot, they appeal to a very like hardcore milsim, like
I am the audience.
I am the audience too. Don't get it twisted because I like Marauders a lot.
No, I like Marauders a lot more than I like Tarkov, and that's only because it's in space, and I like that vibe.
I like Marauders a lot so much that, like, again, like extraction shooters, I believe, and I've said this on a podcast not too long ago, I feel like it's the new wave. Like, Coyote found a game for us. I think I sent it to you too, Eknight. It's called Synced. It's basically a PvP PvE game. That's it's an extraction shooter. It's essentially an extraction shooter. Yeah. It's fucking dope. It's fun as hell. I mean, you drop down, you have powers, you find other players, you kill them, you take their guns. It's third person. You can aim in first person.
It's like it's a more casual.
Yeah,
shit.
And I think that's what DMZ appeals to. It's like the people who don't want to play Warzone because it's too sweaty, but don't want to play like they don't want to play like Marauders and all that shit because it's just kind of too complicated and too hectic and can be like kind of hardcore. I think DMZ is very casual, but it can be like very intense, and there's a lot that happens in DMZ.
DMZ is fun when I have a friend group to play. After like the first and 30th time of playing solo DMZ, the only time I ever had enjoyment with the game was literally just making sure other people were not extracting. Bro, like I become the problem. I am the issue.
In my I think I have like 5 days of game time in DMZ. Like, I'll keep it real with you. I've probably played solo like 10 times.
Yeah,
like, I just try my best. Like, the cool thing about Modern Warfare 2 is it has a groups feature. Like, you can put friends in the groups and stuff. So like a lot of times what I'll do is like, if I'm playing with people and we end up like, meeting another squad, we kill them and we 6-man up, at the end I might be like, yo, you were cool as shit, I'm going to add you. And then I'll add them and then I'll put them in that group. So it's like, if I ever see them online, I could just be like, yo, you want to run DMZ? And then they'd be like, let's get it. So I always have somebody to play with. Right. I always have somebody to play with. I got my coworkers addicted to that shit, dog. Like I got my coworkers playing that shit now. It's like DMZ is my favorite mode right now, and I just think that's because, again, I do think the battle royale shit kind of died out.
I think it's just the more calmer version of BRs, because it's like you're doing the same shit. You drop in a random you spawn in a random location, you go grab loot, and then you get the fuck out. And getting the fuck out in BRs is basically winning the game. This is just like there's a little more attention to it, rather than just just like, oh man, we're gonna third party this team that's gonna be here because this is where they'll be because the circle's closing. Where in reality, it's like you have a certain amount of time on this map, do whatever the fuck you want, but if you don't get out, you lose all your shit. And I'm like, I like that. And the thing about DMZ is like, it's fun with friends, but solo wise, I just become a boss fight. I just become the guy that you don't want to deal with because I have figured out every bullshit build that I can bring with me into this shit. I will go in with no guns, come out with all your guns, and then leave while you guys are like bleeding out on the fucking like helicopter and shit. Like, I just become that guy that you don't want to deal with. I just become a troll because most of the time it's like it's not about extracting. It's about sending a message and fucking.
Man, you're right.
And that's what I get my enjoyment in DMZ. Whereas in Marauders and Tarkov, it's a lot more extreme. There's a lot more tension. I feel like I'm actually in the shit. Yeah. So I have that heart pounding moment I used to have with Siege, where it's like, damn, are we gonna extract? Or am I about to get shot the fuck up? Like if I live, I'm like, damn, I lived through that. How the fuck did I live through that? Like, where are they shooting from? Like, it's a lot more into like, because it's so minimalistic. There's a lot more that goes into that game than DMZ when it comes to like the environment and like just knowing the maps that you're on. So like DMZ has its place as like a quick version of that, but if you're going from DMZ to Marauders, you're gonna have a bad time because like
exactly
it's not gonna be fun for you unless you plan on getting into it. And extraction shooters being the wave, I agree with you there because Destiny, or not Destiny, but Bungie's making a game that's an extraction based shooter based on one of the older IPs not they, but the original Bungie team made, called Marathon. So like that should be. I'm surprised we still haven't seen anything about that, especially in the Sony what's it called? Sony State of Play, because that's. Like Bungie and Sony are tight like that right now, right? They still
they bought them.
Okay, yeah, that's what I figured. So like, Sony State of Play hasn't shown anything as far as that I can recall regarding to Marathon, so that's still on the hush hush. So I guess we gotta wait.
We'll see how it turns out, but overall, the only thing, because we talk about it all the time, right? Because I'm like slowly trying to bring people into the DMZ wave, and a lot of people who are like big on Warzone, they tell me the thing that DMZ needs is it needs like a hardcore mode. And then when people say that, I'm like,
then go play Tarkov.
That's exactly what I'm like.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's DMZ's fine for what it does.
I think where it's at, I don't think it needs to do any more than what it does.
I think what it needs to do is just in the maps need to be a bit more vertical than they already are. Like just like access to like aerial vehicles probably needs to be a little bit more less restrictive, I should say. If that makes sense. Like I know there's a heavy chopper you can fuel up and basically extract for free.
Yeah.
And then I know there's little birds that they don't have weapons on them, but they fly around. It's really good at getting around the map, but it's also you become a huge target. I don't know. There's something about DMZ I feel like I would like more if it was more in a, and this is my personal bias, like a sci-fi setting. Like the game, what's it called, that died recently, that was close to doing it correctly, but I feel like it would have been
with the cycle.
Yeah. What the cycle was trying to do, I would like to see that, like more fleshed out.
I think the only thing DMZ needs, and this is what I've been saying for like 2 seasons now. Like when I pick up bandages, I should be able to use those bandages. You know what
Facts.
I mean? I think like little things like that, like okay, I'm eating it, like gives me like my character like a little buff for like a certain amount of time. Like
you want all the benefits and none of the negatives of the hardcore mode, essentially, because the negatives would be. Eating food is to keep you satiated while you're in the zone.
I think I wouldn't mind like a bleed out or something like that, but I just
bleed
feel
out. Like, yeah, I think a bleed out system and DMZ would turn off half the community that plays it. I'm going to be honest with you. Like they have that system in BattleBit, and it's fine in BattleBit because you have bandages to wrap yourself up. But when you run out of bandages and you lose a gunfight because you bled out. Whereas in like whereas in Tarkov,
problem is I think they shouldn't allow, not to cut you off, I just had to
Mhm.
think about this. Another problem is I think they need to not allow you to 6-man. Like they need to take that integration out. Like if I want to do like a 6-man with another team, it needs to be us just being like, hey, we're virtually
They
shaking
need
hands.
they
We're fucking with
need
each other. But there shouldn't be that cohesion. Like we've joined up. I now see what your health looks like. I know where you're at. You
No, it
see
should
my
be
pings.
more on the lines of like it's a temporary truce. It's like
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think it just needs to be something where it's like we virtually shook hands, like, yo, this is how we rocking. And I'm still hostile to you. You can't see my pings. You can't see where I'm at. You know what I mean? You
mhm.
can't see what my health is,
I
any
think
of
they
that.
should just change your F friend or foe to instead of just being on your team, it should just be like a yellow icon, like an
That
ally icon. And
that
that
could
way you
work.
can quickly identify if there's he's like, oh, that's my ally. But I think being able to be shot and everything by your allies should still be on the table. Like there should be that element of betrayal in that system. That would make more sense for the 6-man. That would also add more drawbacks to 6-manning instead of it just being, oh yeah, now we have 6 people against like this squad that just spawned here.
Nah,
Just
because that shit crazy, dog.
no, I was in a 6-man. Like I said, like one of the solos that I played, I literally went from being the menace to somehow being in the 6-man. I like gaslit these people into thinking that I was part of their team. It was like, yeah, nah, I got shot at. It's crazy. Yeah, I was the one doing the shooting and knocking people down. But when more people showed up, I was like, oh man, maybe we should back off a bit for a sec. And then I ended up being in the 6-man. We ended up wiping out another 6-man squad. And then dipping out on an emergency evac because we were in the fucking map too long. It was pretty cool, but I think that element of betrayal should always be on players' minds.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but at the same time, that's the same thing for Tarkov and Marauders. Like you can befriend enemy players simply just by talking to them, and there will be no exchanging of like friend or foe tags or whatever. Or, like there's no element that'll restrict you from damaging your teammate
Mm-hmm.
that you just made friends with on the battlefield. Like there's always that doubt in the back of your mind. What if we get all this loot and he just kills me and takes all of it? Like that is the element that the hardcore modes do correctly and do correctly well, or not modes, but hardcore games. And I think once you add that element into the 6-man team and bandaging yourself and eating food to gain buffs and shit, that's when you go down that road. Well, now it's no longer casual. Now we're in this weird middle ground between the hardcore and the casual. Now we're in like core. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, then after that, people are like, well, why don't we have this system? Why don't we have that system? And so it's like the line between casual extraction shooter and hardcore extraction shooter is pretty thin when you add in certain elements. It's not like you still have the core mission is to get the loot, get the fuck out, fight players, fight NPCs. When you add survival elements like Tarkov has, it becomes more hardcore. When you get rid of the UI because it's not realistic, it's more hardcore. If you have a system where you can consistently betray people that you make or befriend in the battlefield, that's part of the hardcore. If you
Yeah.
have bleed out systems, hardcore. If you have to apply medicine to particular parts of your body, hardcore. Like in DMZ, it's I got shot, I'm gonna plate up. The system is simple, it's casual, it's easy to understand. In
This is
Tarkov, it's like
true.
I got shot in the leg, I need bandages, I need a splint, I need, you know what I mean? Like it's not simple, it's not easy, and if you don't have those items, you will die and lose all your shit.
Yeah. I
So
don't know. I think, like I said, like when people tell me like DMZ needs to be more hardcore, I'm just like,
it does
I
not
just,
need.
I don't think it needs that. I just
I
think it
think
needs.
I think they need to go play a game that's similar to Call of Duty in terms of game mechanics, but also it's just that's extraction shooter. Right now, as far as I know, that might end up being the marathon game when that's coming out. That I know for a fact that's not going to be a hardcore game. That's going to be pretty casual because they want that game to appeal to a wide audience, and I know.
And I think that's the thing with DMZ. I think they try to keep that mode. Like I said, like I'm not big on Warzone anymore. That's why I really like DMZ. Plus, I like the loot aspect of it, even though it's like one of those things where it's like
kind of pointless in DMZ for the most part.
It definitely is, but at the same time, like for me, it's like a weird added layer because you do get those insured guns. You get the insured weapons.
The items in DMZ are just necessary to complete missions to unlock more slots for insured guns or perks and shit. But as far as like usability, like all the items are useless once you extract they go away. So it's like okay, so like this just gave me more XP because I made a shit ton of money off of these items I had in my inventory when I extracted.
I think what they just need to do, like I like the loot aspect of it as far as like the guns and stuff. Like I like being able to like, all right, I have a set amount of weapons that I'm allowed to bring on multiple infiltrations with me. So it's like if I die, I lose my assured slot. Now I got to rely on the vast array of assault rifles that I've collected, throughout my time playing. And a lot of times, especially nowadays, like I like to play Ashika because Ashika's a lot faster. It's like you get right into the fucking action. It gets crazy right away. You know what I mean? It could be like you literally, I've had a game literally last week where we dropped in, we spawned on ship, the crash ship, not the one in the water. I literally pull out my scope. I see a guy fucking dolphin dive off the top. I'm like, there's a team right there. We're fighting this team. They knocked my teammates. I finished the last dude, and then here comes another team of people. Yeah. So Ashika is pretty fast paced, whereas like El Mazrah is like snipe heavy. Everybody's fucking.
You know what probably would be a good element to add to DMZ, but wouldn't be considered that hardcore? Camouflage.
Oh.
Yeah, weather too.
I've been thinking about weather, but I think the way they've done weather so far has been shitty because the fog in Vondel is kind of.
That's just the map, honestly.
Yeah.
No, same thing with El Mazrah. It's like, oh, it's a bit dusty. And then instead of like having rolling sandstorms, sometimes
it's just like, in one spot. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just dumb. It's like weather elements would be cool, but I understand why they don't. It would make it a little bit harder for casual people to enjoy. I think adding camouflage, like maybe like environmental, like you know how like Breakpoint had that mechanic where you could dig yourself into mud and just not move. I think something like that, or being able to like camouflage vehicles or some shit like that. Some along those lines would probably add a little bit more flavor to the game mode. But I was gonna say, since we are kind of near that topic, because we could talk about extraction shooters all damn day. What did you think of the Sony State of Play?
Let me look at that.
Because I think it's exactly the same as the E3 show. I don't think that much changed. Spider-Man looks cool.
I gotta refresh my mind. Yeah, Spider-Man was all they really showed off. They showed off the Rebirth. I thought that was pretty good. The Final Fantasy Rebirth, that looked pretty dope. It was crazy. We were supposed to talk about all the fucking Gamescom games. You
can talk about Call of Duty. What you mean? This happens every time. Oh man, I'm not gonna talk about Call of Duty. Goes into fucking detail about DMZ for 20 minutes.
It used to be Halo.
It used to be Halo, but I stopped talking about it because I knew I would go into like a rant about it. You couldn't stop me.
Just real quick, the only thing, in my eyes, that they showed off during Gamescom that interested me was the Cyberpunk DLC. They showed a new trailer. And then the Tekken 8 release date, which is like January something. So that's it. All right.
Yeah,
and then we'll get off of Gamescom.
The Cyberpunk, Sean. Speaking of which, there is a news article IGN put out.
Talk about that.
That warns PC players to improve their cooling systems, which I find kind of hilarious, given how that game came out was a shitty mess, and now the first DLC, I think, what is it? They came out. That game came out in 2019, right? It's 2023 now. It's like been what?
No, that shit came out 2020.
Oh, 2020? So it's 3 years after the game has come out. They finally fixed it up to a point where it's playable, how it should have been on launch. And now they come out with their first DLC, and the first thing they're warning people is, hey, maybe improve your cooling system. I'm like, either this DLC is about to make a bunch of people's PCs get bricked, or fucking like it's just this is a weird precaution that they're warning people to do.
Definitely about to make people shit brick.
I fucking like, it looked good. I'm not gonna get it mainly because I beat Cyberpunk ages ago, and I just don't feel like re-downloading it, playing it again to get to a point where I feel like I'm gonna enjoy the DLC. I'll probably watch you play it on stream if you end up streaming it, or
I will probably not stream it
or put it on YouTube or whatever.
I probably won't get it right away.
Yeah, I'm not getting it at all.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna wait out because, again, like I said, like I just got a lot of shit going on right now. So it's just one of those things where I'm still enjoying Starfield to the point that I just don't want to put another game on my plate right now. But it does look good. I'm glad that I bought it on PS5, so I don't have to really think about all that cooling shit. I just gotta make sure my shit is nicely vented, and dusty and shit like that. But I mean, Cyberpunk was the crazy thing was, I think we even talked about it when we had that great debate back on like episode 10. Like, I think we all said like Cyberpunk was a good game that was just, it was just fucked up by a shitty launch. A very shitty launch, dog. A launch that should have never happened. Like, the game should have just simply, came out at another time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind another year delayed for that game. But coming back to it, it's just like, to me, it'd be like, I've seen everyone playing it now. Everything's like cool. I've seen the edits where people are basically doing the Quicksilver meme and just like going full what's it called? Like that thing from the Cyberpunk TV show that came out. It basically stops time, and they're just setting up a bunch of attacks and then executing them all at once.
The Sandevistan.
Yeah, Sandevistan thing. Yeah, no, I was like, oh, those are cool. But for me personally, because I played the shit out of the first one, the game when it came out originally, bugs and all, I was like, I kind of just don't want to play the game anymore. I kind of like am done with this universe for the time being. And like, when the DLC, I saw the DLC trailer, I was like, damn, Idris Elba's in this. But then it got to me thinking, I was like, Idris Elba's in this. The same issue we had with the original, and one of the reasons apparently, or one of the suspected reasons, is that they hired Keanu Reeves to do the game. And I'm like, I don't know if this is going to be a repeat of last time, where most of the budget went to an actor, a big name actor.
I don't think so. I think this game is fine now, and I think that the DLC is going to be fine, and I think it's going to be everything that everybody that's excited for it and who enjoys the Cyberpunk 2077 game is going to enjoy. I just think that, again, that initial, like they say, like, first impressions are everything. I think the first impression of this game, just like, it either broke people or it just, you had people like me who were like, all right, I'm going to just wait and be patient until it's fixed and you have people who are just like, I didn't have a problem from the beginning, so the game's been amazing for me from the start, and
the thing is that I barely had problems in the beginning at all. There was some frame rate drop, there was some bugs here and there, little weird glitches. I think my problem with it was like towards the end, I had like an irremovable bug of the illness transition in Cyberpunk that you get whenever you have like an attack for the story, and V's like, oh, I'm going through the shit because I have Johnny Silverhands in my head. But basically that was irremovable towards the end. So I had to reload an entire older save file to get rid of it, which backtracked me hours. Just fucking sucks. But and then after that, it was like I beat the game and I was like, it's a good storyline. It just was a lot of shit that I felt like I should have been able to do, but just couldn't because it wasn't in the game at all. Like there wasn't like, like in Starfield, like you go out, there's little side activities that you can do from time to time. There's just stuff like that. It's like organically throughout the game. Cyberpunk, it felt like I just was going from main story quest line to main story quest line to side character quest line. It felt more like I was in a checklist rather than like fucking and I'm like, oh, I just stumbled upon this person randomly in the street, whereas in Starfield that happens a lot. You know what I mean? I think just the way they structured it was like, definitely most of the people you're going to meet are through the main story quest, and then anything outside of that was like,
tried to make it. This is what I believe that they try to do with because even the way, like, again, like when I play a lot of these role playing games, I really role play, so I do a lot of like, like I try not to fast travel, try to move around kind of humanly. I mean, throughout the world and experience things kind of in a fluid manner. I mean,
in an organic manner,
organic manner. So a lot of times, like a lot of things do kind of happen, like just purely out of coincidence for me. Like I might run into like an area where a cyber psycho is, and I'm just like, all right, let me go take care of that real quick. Or I run into a crime, and I'm like, okay, let me do that. But I do believe like some of the stuff is kind of like, I don't know the word, but it's like kind of manufactured, where it just kind of feels like scripted, unlike a game like Skyrim or like even Starfield, where a lot of the instances just kind of purely seem random.
Yeah, a lot of the shit in Starfield is completely random. Like the dude that comes up and asks for your car's extended warranty and shit. Like it's manufactured in the sense of like it's gonna happen. Like once you hear about it, it's like, oh, I know to expect this. But like fucking what's it called? If you just don't expect it happening, like the amount of random occurrences that actually do happen when you're traveling your ship in Starfield is fucking amazing, like the frequency of it. But when I compare it to like 2077 Cyberpunk, I just see it. All I see is fucking just go here, do this. I'm like, okay, had fun doing that because the combat was okay. All right. But as far as like organic side quest, like I've traveled on the outskirts of the city, right? There's not much to do out there at all. You really only go out there for main story missions and the occasional odd Easter egg that someone like put out there, or like a weird mission. It's like the garbage dump, I should say. All right, there could be 1,000 things you should be able to fucking maybe do in that area. But there are literal sections in between the garbage dump, between the map, that literally would be like, you're going too far, you can't go over here. So then would have just take you back to the main fucking area. And I was like, so I have to go down this linear route down this garbage alley.
I see what you're saying.
And when there's like a pile of garbage, I could just take a shortcut to get to my destination faster. I'm like, oh, okay, that's weird, but all right. Like, it's and it's like I mean, most of the shit is in Night City, and that makes sense for the most part. But there's also shit outside of Night City, and it's like kind of what I want to explore. Like, I spent like hours trying to get through the border of Night City. Like, you know, that border that if you do the one start, what's it called? The starting quest line for the
The one you
outlaws
did,
when you're in the car and you
yeah.
have to drive to get into Night City, and then it was like, oh man, all right, I'm trying to get out of Night City, and they don't let you leave, and I'm like, but I know there's shit out there. I know there's a whole mission that takes place on the outskirts of the border. Why can't I leave? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, but even if it was like they just had nothing planned for that, it's still like maybe there's a quest line about getting people out of Night City. You know what I mean? Like on the outskirts, and it's like a mini quest thing. Like it's not even a major quest line. It needs to be like just shit like that wasn't really around. There was like a few side quests that were like 3-part quest lines that you would do, like with the vending machine, or like the dude that wants to televise his death as Jesus or whatever the fuck. But as far as like organic random activities, besides like race fighting people for cars or some shit, I don't know, or buying all the cars, there wasn't really that much to do. So like once you were done beating the quest lines, it was like, oh, what else I can do? Well, I can fight people, and that's about it. You know what I mean?
Well, maybe we'll get some more. We'll get some more content in the next game because you know they said they're done after this expansion. That's all we get.
Yeah, they're gonna work on the next Witcher game, is what they're planning on doing.
We'll see how that works out.
Yeah.
Let's get back to this PlayStation state of play. So they had a state of play earlier in September. I believe it was like a week ago. Yeah, it wasn't
that too long. Yeah, it was last week after
it was the 13th.
This and the Nintendo Direct
yeah,
came
it
out
was like
recently.
Thursday or something. So yeah, we got that. And I thought it was pretty dope. I'm not gonna lie to you. They showed off a lot of Spider-Man because that's like their killer app this year. This is what Sony's like really trying to push out.
Yeah, I mean it looks really good. I'm not too big into superhero games, but from what I see, it looks like it's gonna be a good time for Spider-Man fans. You get to have the Venom suit and switch between Miles Morales and Peter Parker.
Yeah, almost seamlessly too at that.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Dope. Yeah,
so,
it looks pretty good. They showed off the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which is the part 2 of the Final Fantasy VII remake.
How do you feel about that?
It looks good. It looks really good. It looks really, 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 really good. So,
because for me, I'm kind of just like not into it. I don't know what it is about this part 2 shit. Maybe it's because it took too long after the first part came out.
Yeah, it's been
like 4 years.
Like 2019 that shit came out.
2018, 2019, I believe.
Yeah, 2018 or 2019, yeah.
It's been a while. Like, they either have been working on the game or they haven't been, but it's been a minute.
You know, COVID slows some shit down, so.
Nah, but it's like they came out with the DLC, I think, like soon after for that, and it was just
that was like 2 years ago. They came out with the DLC because the
DLC,
the DLC dropped when the game got the PS5 version.
Oh, okay.
So that came out like 2021. Yeah, the interlude John, which I gotta beat. Yeah, this is supposed to be coming out in February. This is gonna be a day one cop for me, probably day one stream as well. I'll probably be streaming that like day one, and it should be a good time, dog. It should be a good time. I'm looking forward to that game. And then they showed off what I'm most excited for. I'm not gonna lie. All right, Resident Evil 4 Remake is getting the Separate Ways DLC this Thursday. Excited for that. If y'all know what Separate Ways was in the original Resident Evil 4, it was like the campaign, but you play as Ada Wong. So
yeah, I remember that. And after all the DLCs came out for that, it was
yeah,
like you could play as what? Not Chris Redfield. Couldn't you play as Wesker at one point?
yeah, and the mercenaries.
Oh yeah, Mercenaries is what I was thinking about.
So yeah, in Ada Wong will be coming to mercenaries as well as Wesker. They're both coming to mercenaries. It's gonna be dope. I will be streaming that this Thursday. Um, Probably beat it. I doubt the DLC is gonna be that long because the DLC is only like $10. So it's
Yeah, it's
probably not
probably
gonna
like
be
a
that.
few missions. Like
Yeah,
that's how it was in the original. It was like just all the missions that you saw Ada Wong on, you
yeah,
would play
yeah. But
as her on.
we finally get the U3 boss fight, which was the left hand in the original game. We're getting the U3 boss fight. The lasers are coming back. Everybody's excited about the fucking lasers. I mean, it looks good. Like I said, that'll be day one this Thursday, September 21st. And they really didn't show too much else off. They showed off the Avatar game, the Frontiers of Pandora, which is basically Far Cry.
Yeah, I
You
don't
got
know. That's also another game I saw. I was like, meh.
they should have released that shit in third person. I don't
That
know
would
why
make
they
more
made it a
sense.
first person game.
I think they were trying to get you immersed in the world of Pandora, but like,
I guess
I
we're
thought it was going to
getting
be like a weird PvP game when they first announced it, and then I was like, no, it's an open world RPG. And I was like, it's going to be a Far Cry clone, isn't it? It's going to be something similar to that.
we're getting Helldivers 2.
Hype as fuck for that.
February 8th. That's gonna be fire, man. I'm not gonna lie. That's gonna be fire. So
It's going to be funny as shit. I'm planning on streaming that.
You'll probably see me and Eknight here stream it together. We'll try to get linked up for that one.
I love the first one, and this is just third person version of it.
They showed off that game Baby Steps from the guy who made Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy. His next game is you just taking baby steps.
You're a baby?
No, you're like a grown man, but you like walk weird. You gotta look at it, man. It's pretty
You
funny.
walk like a Titan from Attack on Titan.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, yeah, I get it. It's the same concept, just a different way.
Yeah. Instead of you climbing, you're
walking, and it's like,
walking.
what was that game on PlayStation? They had the Squid Dad one.
Oh yeah,
It's like that, Octodad, yeah.
Yeah. And then Roblox is finally coming to PlayStation October 10th. So y'all about
excited? Can't wait to spend some money on some Robux.
I might try it, man. I have a lot of friends who like Roblox a lot. They play Call of Duty on Roblox and GTA and shit. So I might try it out. I don't know. I mean, I could play Roblox on my PC. I don't know why I never did, but I might. I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, that's what they showed off. And pretty mid, but they just it was kind of like a reminder. Like, I think that state of play was like a reminder, like, hey, just so y'all know these games are coming out. I mean,
yeah, but we just had one like
in July.
I was like, this is everything from July.
It's just them just reminding you, dog.
Like, hey guys, we got this shit, and this shit came out, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Nice.
The same day Nintendo had a Nintendo Direct, and they kind of showed off some new remakes.
Showed off a lot of heat. What's it called? Splatoon's getting like a single player game. It looks like.
No, it's getting It looks like DLC.
It looks, but it's like campaign
Side
mission.
Order gets new gameplay. Kicked off Splatoon 3 second wave. Yeah, it's DLC. Yeah. Oh shit! It's part of the expansion pass, John. That's what's up. Mm-hmm. I have the expansion pass, so that I'm gonna try that. It looks like it's single player stuff. But it's the last game got single player DLC too, so that makes sense.
I've never played a Splatoon game, so that's why I was like,
would probably like it. You would probably like it.
I don't know. You seem pretty hesitant about that.
Because it just depends. Like it's weird because Splatoon is like a very it's like you like games like Gundam Evolution and Overwatch to a certain extent. You like those types of games. You like Halo. I feel like all of those games are kind of like arcade shooters, and this is like the most arcade of arcade shooters. Like, no
Yeah.
bullshit. It's just literally you painting the map for like, I think it's like 4 minutes or even less than that. I think it's like 3 minutes, and you're just going around painting the map, splatting enemies, using your super. There's a little bit of strategy with it. It's very hardcore sometimes, like depending on like if you're not like stacked up. So if you have like 2 or 3 spaces open for people to join, like it can get pretty fucking crazy, dog. Like no bullshit. Like you can have some crazy people in your team that are like just hardcore and just
Yeah.
it has a very hardcore fan base over in Japan. So
I can see that. Yeah.
you would probably like it, man. I like it.
I'll have to
like
check it out when I get new Joy-Cons because right now I'm getting drift. And I
Yeah.
think the most annoying thing in the world would be trying to play
Do you
a
have
shooter
a pro
with drift.
controller?
No, I have the attachment that turns it into a controller.
Yeah. I was about to say, just get the pro controller. That I mean, you just
I
play
might
shit right
do
on
that,
TV.
to be honest. I like the appeal of the Joy-Cons, but like I don't
Pro
use
controllers where it's at, dog. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of times these days, I'm not really playing my Switch that much in bed or at all. So a lot of times I'm playing it docked anyway. So when it's docked, I'm playing it with the pro controller. So
I got you.
yeah, but they showed off some other heat, man. They showed off Paper Mario, the 1,000-Year Door HD, which
They
had
showed
me
off a lot of Mario
excited.
shit too.
Yeah, man. They
Wonder, Donkey Kong versus Mario,
yeah, Mario versus Donkey Kong.
Luigi's Mansion again.
The F-Zero 99, which
That
looked
shit
really
looks
good.
fucking
Oh, that's out
funny.
today. That's out now.
Oh shit, I'm gonna go get that then.
I'm gonna download that right now.
That shit was hilarious. It was like, oh, F-Zero from back in the day, but 99 players. I'm
Yeah,
like,
they did that shit with Tetris. They did it with Mario at one point, but it was
it's like an
was
experiment.
yeah, it was an exclusive game mode for the 35th birthday joint. It was only for like a month, but it was pretty dope.
Yeah, I think they should just do it full blown. They should just take all like the simple games and go battle royale and just really lean into it. It would be fucking great.
I think that would work. They showed off Princess Peach Showtime, which I don't know what the fuck that is, man. I don't know what it is.
It really interested me that much, but it was another Mario game, and I was
Yeah,
like,
we got like
"Here's been
4 Mario games, dog. Like
this the voice actor
we got
retired, and
Luigi's
we got like
Mansion
18. No wonder
2.
he fucking retired. They got this man working overtime.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah,
I'm retiring voice of Mario. I was like, damn, really? All right. Why is that? And then now it's like 5 Mario games have come out.
Yeah, they got the Prince of Persia. They showed that off. The new Prince of Persia coming out January 18th. They showed off more Super Mario RPG. Excited for that. Excited. Always wanted to play that.
Probably check that out just to see.
That comes out November 17th. So I might honestly stream that too.
You should. You should.
Dave the Diver's coming out on Switch. Dave the Diver is a game that Coyote really liked.
I was curious about it, but I was like, it's kind of not my scene for right now.
We're getting Detective Pikachu Returns.
That I might actually check out.
We're getting Wave 6 of Mario Kart 8 Booster Course Pass. Some amiibo updates. We're getting fucking Sora.
That's gonna be
sold out already.
Yeah, there's probably scalpers already for that shit. Like, I'm not even holding you. Like,
it's coming out next year. Yeah, we're getting Tears of the King Zelda and Ganondorf coming out November 3rd. We're getting some Xenoblade 3 amiibos coming out January. We got this game called Another Code Recollection got announced. I only said it because it sounded like it was familiar, but it's not. We got a new WarioWare coming out. It's coming out in November. And that's it. That's it. They showed off. I think they showed off enough. That was pretty good. That's pretty good. A lot of Mario. A lot of fucking Mario, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. A side note, the DLC for Pokemon came out recently, and I'm gonna get it eventually. I don't think I was gonna get it right away because I'm still playing Starfield. but so far it seems like everyone's enjoying it.
While we're on Nintendo news too,
Mm-hmm.
Activision was briefed on Nintendo's Switch 2 last year.
Oh yeah.
They a lot of people apparently just recently at some event, I think it was Gamescom, a lot of developers got to kind of see what the Switch 2 was. And apparently it's just as strong as a fucking PS4.
Yeah, some.
Some because this shit right now is
But
only as
it's a
strong as
handheld, so that's why I'm like, all right. So we have the PS Portal or whatever it's called, the handheld for that. Is that as strong as a PS5, or is that as strong as?
it's just but it's all that's doing is mirroring.
Yeah. Okay.
Like,
so then it's really just a
full,
glorified TV.
Yeah, this is literally just fucking
A PlayStation 4 powerhouse. Okay.
But the
I might
thing
get
that I'm confused about, right? Because the Switch is already 1080p docked.
Yeah.
It's 720 handheld. So
Yeah.
what's gonna be the
You're saying the
specs?
upgrade for graphics?
Yeah, what's gonna be the graphical fidelity boost in this? Are we getting 1080p handheld?
We might not get anything, honestly. If they want to keep the ability to play more complex games, because I mean, you'll get Mortal Kombat that just came out, and the Switch version, which I was surprised that even came out on Switch. That shit looks hilariously
Mortal
bad.
Kombat 11 came out on Switch, and to be honest, I played a lot of Mortal Kombat 11 on Switch. I did.
Mm-hmm.
Only because, again, for clarification, the one thing I love about the Switch is that it's easy to it's portable, obviously, but it's easy for you to like, all right, I'm going on a trip. Let me grab my dock. Let me grab the charger, the HDMI cord.
Yeah, you grab and go, and that's it.
Yeah, and then it's like when I get where I gotta go, I set it up at the TV, and then when people want to play, we just play. You know what I mean?
This is also why that I'm not as harsh on the Switch games that don't do well or don't perform well, because it's like, yes, they should perform well, but at the same time, what they're trying to do is like just extreme Nintendo DS. Like, it's like I applaud it, and I'm gonna let it ride. So when it gets to a state where it's like, okay, now we have a consistent like standard for shit like this, and it should be like this, and then the game comes out that's not
there, though. If you really think about it, because you got the Steam Deck, you got shit like the Asus ROG that are
right.
like you got a lot of things that are, you know, they're showing that like, all right, man, the Switch needs to
needs to upgrade. Yeah, but it's also when did the Switch come out?
2017, dog. 2016. 2017,
around there.
2017.
It's been out for a while. It's needed an upgrade for a while, and the OLED I knew wasn't going to be an upgrade. So like that.
Yeah, March 3rd, 2017, because that's when I got mine.
Yeah. I got mine, I think, like when Pokemon Let's Go Eevee came out, which I think was 2019. But
nah, that was like 2018.
Really?
Yeah, that was like a release title. Matter of fact, let me go.
No, it wasn't a release title. Zelda was a release title.
Eevee. Yeah, I got that, John. Release date was November 16th, 2018.
Oh shit! Yeah, that was like, okay. That's why I think I got it in 2019. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I got my shit when that came out. But like I said, the Switch, even that game had frame rate drops when you were in like a busier area, and that was like, considering the graphic style, which I didn't mind at the time. It shouldn't have been that hard for the Switch to render all that shit. But at the same time, it's needed an upgrade for a while, and like if it's going to be on par with the PS4 with the games coming out, I think it'll be okay.
I think it'll be fine too. Yeah. I just want to know what those specs are going to look like. Like I said, I want to see what the fidelity is going to be like. We're definitely probably going to get 1080p in handheld, but what are we getting?
We might just get 1080p. Like, I don't think it's going to be a huge jump. I don't think I'm going to go for 4K native, because it's like in docked mode, because it's probably going to be like, it's probably going to need a lot more processing power to do all that shit anyway. and like I don't think they're trying to sell this shit as cheaply as possible. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Like I said, like I've never been on Nintendo's ass. Like, dog, they have to. Like, it's just, it does get annoying playing a lot of these games in the resolutions and frame rates
yeah, I
that
mean,
we're
like,
playing them in.
Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. There's no, like, I feel like that game could have performed way better if it was a little more polished.
That's why I have not played it since
But
I got it.
But at the same time, like, I'm also expecting this game to render all these Pokemon out like fucking on this old ass Switch I got. Like, the game came out in 2022. This shit came out in 2017.
Listen, I will never slander the Switch. I think the Switch, and I've been saying it since it came out, is a mandatory secondary system. You must own a Switch. Like you gotta own a Switch, dog. Like it's gotta be somewhere in your house. So when your peoples come over, y'all can play the Switch. That's what it's for. That is what it's for. You want to play the game in bed? The Switch is good for that.
Yeah.
But I do feel as though the Switch is probably the first game system I've said in a long time of Nintendo's where it's like it could be your primary system because it has a lot of third-party support for it.
Yeah. Well, so the first-party apps are pretty good too.
Yeah, so. But the thing that's always like kind of turned me off from being a exclusive Nintendo person is really just the third-party thing. It's like you don't get Call of Duty, you don't get, GTA, you don't get this, you don't get that. It's like you just kind of get select.
So would you rather having since Switch 2 is on its way out, or on its way out, or on released, maybe released soon. Damn,
probably this time next year.
Do you think, would you rather have a higher graphics fidelity or play Call of Duty at 1080p handheld and just be able to play
Call of Duty 1080p handheld?
Yeah, so I was thinking the same thing because like as cool as it would be to have high def shit, the Nintendo games don't be looking like
that's why I always give them a pass. Nintendo has never been a like performance graphics first.
No one's dick riding how strong the Switch is,
and they haven't been that way since like the GameCube. Honestly, the GameCube was the last system that, like, compared to the PS2, the games looked immaculate, dog. Looked immaculate. So ever since like the 360 PS3 era, they've always lost in graphics in the term of performance and stuff like that.
But they win in games.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Games are fun as shit. Usually, there's a wide variety.
You have a reason to buy a Nintendo console just from their first party titles alone. Because you're not getting that type of content on Xbox or PlayStation or PC.
Well, you used to get it on them, but now it's all like one or two games that stand out instead of like a shit ton.
Yeah. But yeah, Switch 2 coming, hopefully sooner than later. Real quick, let's talk about Sims 5 real quick. Sims 5, apparently there's been some Sims 5 conversation going on. I thought they weren't going to do it, but Sims 5 is coming, and they've confirmed some details about it on the development. It has a working title. It's called Project Renee. It will be free to start. All right.
I don't like that.
It'll be free to start.
I don't like that shit at all. I don't like that phrase at all.
I don't like it either.
Bro, that is the biggest red flag in gaming. Like, free to start. What do you mean by that?
It's crazy because Nintendo does that a lot. Like a lot of their like free to play games, they have like that Pokemon Quest game that's like free to start. They have a lot of games that are like free to start, but yeah, apparently this is like free to start with no energy mechanics. So I don't know what that means. I think that's like
energy mechanics is a mobile game fucking term.
Oh, okay. So yeah, we're not getting that. but they're gonna probably microtransaction the hell out of this game because they did with 4. 4 had like 400 expansions. So
I don't know if it, like the energy mechanic was like, oh, they implemented the same shit that mobile games do, where you have real life in-game shit where you can't do things for a certain amount of time, so you can't like binge play the game unless you pay money to refill your energy or something like that. Which it's an EA game, so I could see them doing that.
Well, they said no energy mechanics, so
probably because the last one didn't do so well. Otherwise, they would have left it in there. It's EA.
Sims 4 was like the best Sims game to a lot of people.
I mean, the energy mechanic, like
I don't think the game ever had an energy mechanic. I just think
what the fuck are they talking about then?
I don't know the way that this article's from GameSpot, by the way. But just the way that's just their caption.
I need to Google it though.
No, it's in the show notes.
No, the mechanic that they're talking about.
Yeah, but they also confirmed that Sims 5 will exist side by side with Sims 4, which adopted a free-to-play model in 2022. Yeah, man. Listen, man. I've never been like the craziest on Sims, but
okay. Now I know what it is.
What is it, man?
It's not the mobile game shit. Thank God. Jesus Christ. I would have been upset if that was a thing in this game. In any game. It's shit. They're talking about how you get power to like your buildings and shit. They had like solar panels and stuff like that you could use.
Oh.
Yeah, I guess it just wasn't a popular feature, or they just didn't feel like re-implementing it.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what they mean by that. I was gonna say if they were doing some fucking mobile game shit, because I can see them doing that shit, because they do that shit like every game, nickel and dime the fucking thing. Like
Sims 5 is coming, y'all. Be aware. And then we got 2 more articles for y'all because we're gonna wrap this up. We're getting kind of into that 2-hour mark. XDefiant. Apparently, XDefiant was supposed to come out this month or August or something like that. It got delayed to like October or something like that. It's still seeking approval from Microsoft and Sony. I don't know. Now, the way after I read this article, I thought at first it didn't get approved. So I was thinking like, damn, they saw something that they didn't fucking like. And it just was like, no, like we're not doing that. But it just seems like they just kind of just submitted it, to be put on those storefronts soon. So XDefiant should be coming. We'll see. I think that is a terrible time to release. Like they're literally fucking Gundam evolutioning themselves. Like this is just. I think they should probably drop this like January or February.
Gundam Evolution is a whole different issue.
No, but Gundam Evolution was in my eyes. That game came out like 2 weeks before fucking Overwatch 2 came out.
I mean, that's true, but it was also like it was a free to play game that was like
a lot of paywalls.
A lot of paywalls.
A couple episodes ago.
No, the issue with that is that it should not have been the way it was. It should not have existed. Like they fixed a lot. They kind of fixed a lot of things.
Yeah, check out episode 66. I think that's the one we talked about it on.
But no. XDefiant, I don't know. I've never played any of the betas that they had. I have zero input on that. I just know when it comes out, if it's free to play, I'll try it. If it's Call of Duty killer or attempting to be a Call of Duty killer, that'd be cool. Because it'll make Call of Duty try a little harder. Other than that, like it's good that it was blocked from releasing, because then it's just another shit game that has to get fixed later. We're kind of tired of those.
I just think that this doesn't need to drop now. Like, it's literally about to compete with fucking Call of Duty, dog. I just don't think it needs to do that right now. Drop this shit in like February when I'm going to be ready to play, where I think a lot of us first-person shooter junkies are going to be like, okay, I'm ready to play this shit. I don't think now's the time, dog.
It should have
do
been a
not
summer
think-
thing.
This should have either been came out or it needs to come out like a couple months later. Cause like October is just not enough time, dog. Like you're literally giving yourself like 3 weeks of people really playing it, and then they're jumping on a Call of Duty, and then you're just gonna be left with your few hardcores and probably no casuals, because you know casuals just like free shit. So, man, I don't know, dog. I don't know, but it's coming, y'all. All right, Eknight, I'm gonna let you take the floor with this last one. This is our last news article for the podcast, man. We're gonna
This
talk
is
about
a major one.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about this Unity.
Bro. All right, if you don't know by now, by the time this Joan came out, Unity is a game engine which a lot of games use to run their shit. One of the more notable ones that I say recently is BattleBit runs on Unity. So it's like a recent example of a popular indie game. There's also a bunch of major games that run on Unity. None that come to my brain at this point in time, but the creators of the Unity engine decided that they wanted to change how the licensing works and wanted to basically make it that the developers pay per download. And it was, I think, depending on the package plan that you went with, like if you went with the free version or like you went with a more expensive version, there's a paywall threshold. So like, let's say your game takes off, right? Let's say BattleBit, it came out. It was popular when it came out. It's still pretty popular now. Has a strong, healthy player base. Costs like $15 or $20 to get. It's pretty cheap, pretty simple Battlefield style indie game. Let's say it crossed that threshold of like 200 grand. After that, the developer would be charged 20 cents per download, and that includes reinstalling the game. That includes installing it on virtual machines, which basically, if anyone doesn't know what a virtual machine does, it would be considered a separate install every time you launch the game, because it's like a computer within a computer. It's a weird ass concept, but it's cool at the same time. I don't know. I don't know how else to describe virtual machine. It's you also have demos that were included in that. There was also like, let's say you're like Derek and you're right, Baldur's Gate, let's say that came out on Unity, right? And Derek's like, you know what, I'm gonna refund this and download this later, right? And let's say since Baldur's Gate was massively successful, and they made a shit ton of money off of it, it would have been like, oh man, like the fucking the download, he buys it at a later date for cheaper because it's on sale and downloads it past the threshold point. They have to pay 20 cents on it. It's like, oh, it's 20 cents. It's not that much, except for when it's a major game that millions of people can download and reinstall and install on different platforms, because that was also another caveat that they had in their thing, where it was like you could install these games on your different platforms, and that counts towards that 20-cent charge towards the developer. So basically, the developer would be on the hook for massive amounts of money. Another thing was they were trying to retroactively do this, so like past downloads would count towards this, like past this change in the license, which I don't think is a legal thing they could get away with, honestly, if they tried. And that after that, there was also what was it called? Fucking they wanted Xbox to pay money for the Game Pass games that were on Game Pass.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So those would have been under a different contract, but they would still have Microsoft go pay for that shit. So it's basically they just killed years of goodwill with any developers that they were working with in a single post.
Yeah, dog, that's crazy.
Because they did issue an apology, which was like a half apology, but I also think recently that they're not going to move forward with it. because of all the backlash and hate that they've been getting online and from other developers, basically just saying we're just going to switch engines. Cult of the Lamb is another popular indie game that came out. Basically on Twitter, they were like, hey, buy it by January 1st, because once January 1st comes around, the game will no longer be on Steam. So you have a lot of developers threatening just straight up to pull their games from marketplaces.
That's crazy. I actually kind of wanted to play that shit.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, the business model doesn't make fucking sense for Unity to do. And the reason why they apparently considered it is because, lo and behold, guess who's the CEO of Unity right now? It's the same motherfucker who wanted to who did battle was it loot boxes in Battlefront 2. This man has been quoted saying that we should charge money for you to reload in a game like Battlefield. Like, in the heat of the moment, you should be forced to pay money to reload for a clip of ammo in a video game. You know how wild that this man is.
No, how many times I reload? I reload after every kill, dog. Like,
yeah. I'd be broke by the end of a fucking match. Like, especially if I use an LMG, bro. I'd be fucking out of ammo all the time. I reload that shit every time I shoot a bullet.
Oh man, it's crazy.
This shit is wild. But they also, like I said, people went off on them. Developers threatened to pull their games. They've probably destroyed many business relationships because honestly, after this, I wouldn't be surprised.
Unity's a big engine too, so it's like fuck, man.
Yeah, it's not like the best engine.
Yeah,
but it's also
it's good for indie devs
games
and stuff.
Yeah, like you can work with it. So like for them to come out of nowhere with like, hey, we're gonna charge you more money because you're successful. What? This also just stops people from like.
Now, can I ask this question? Because, like, I'm dumb when it comes to this shit.
Yeah.
Am I paying you up front to develop my game on your engine?
No, you're not. That's the thing.
Oh, so that's why they're doing that.
No. So, like, all right, there are a lot of free indie game devs on Unity, right? You can download the Unity game engine right now for free and do whatever the fuck you want on it. You don't need a licensing fee. You only need a licensing fee, I think, when you publish your game.
Publish the game, yeah.
Yeah. You can buy a licensing fee prior to that, and you can use, I think they have a store asset thing. Basically, though, while this won't affect a large majority of indie creators that don't have, like, super popular games, there is a threshold that they'll reach at one point if they feel like they've reached that threshold. Like, I think it was like for the free or the cheapest version, it's $200,000 revenue threshold. Now this is $200,000 in sales. So let's say you're an indie dev essentially, and you go, oh, I just released Blit Blap. It's a new battle royale extraction shooter game where you're a unicorn that shoots laser beams out of its butthole, and you just pick up loot with your hooves and whatever the fuck. And for whatever reason, like games that we don't think would be popular, and it ends up blowing up, right? Your free license that you have, the low threshold, now becomes a detriment to your income, because now you have over 1 million downloads at probably, like, let's say it's like a $15 game. 1 million downloads is $15 million. You know, then you have to factor in fees from Steam.
Yeah, I see that math already, dog.
You factor in the Steam costs to be on that platform, and then you factor in the Unity 20 cent per download or whatever it is per download costs, because you have that particular license. Now that fee changes based on how expensive the license is. I think it's reduced for the more expensive plans, but at the same time, to me, it's like a nickel and dime tactic. It's like swipe every time you know when you go into those mom and pop shops and they make you pay a certain amount of money to use a credit card, otherwise you get charged extra.
Yeah,
that's because they want you to basically pay for the fee of using the credit card reader. Yeah. So it's like that, but on an extreme scale. So let's say Blip Blop takes off. you're like, oh shit, we're making a shit ton of money. I got no microtransactions in this game. People are downloading it, undownloading it, installing it on all their platforms, because it's like on all the platforms, not just on Steam. It's on Epic, it's on PlayStation, it's on Xbox, it's on Game Pass. So now they're getting it for free essentially if they're subscribed. You know, it's on Origin, whatever fucking platform it's on. Each platform that it's downloaded off of counts as one download. So you could sell 15 million copies worth of the game, but people can re-download and reinstall that shit 5 times over. So you're basically on the hook for like 5 times that amount if you're running a popular game.
That's crazy.
And it doesn't stop. Like, it's not like a threshold you hit and they're like, all right, we capped you out. You know, like it's a lifetime license. So as long as that game exists on the platform, and every time it's downloaded or reinstalled onto the same machine or a different machine, or, you know, another platform, because it's like cross-play or cross-progression or whatever the fuck, you're getting charged at 20 cents.
That's crazy, though.
And it's a cumulative thing. So like 15 million, like, would be, let me do some quick ass math real quick, all right? It may be incorrect, but quick ass math is like 15, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's 15 million times 0.20. That is $3 million right off the rip. 15 million. You're paying out 3 million to the Unity, and that's not even for the re-downloads like Mr. I'm gonna reinstall fucking Fallout 76. Like,
yeah, see, just for me to delete it, just because as I was installing it, I deleted it again.
You know, it's not for the many times I have to reinstall Siege to see if it fixes a bug or something like that. You know what I mean? Like,
did a new op just drop for that game?
Yeah, I'm not going back until the Master Chief skin comes out.
Oh, there's a Master Chief skin coming out?
Oh, yeah. I think it's mid-season. I'll be there for that.
Damn, what you done with Siege?
For the most part, yeah.
Damn.
That's not really a damn. I've been done with Siege since I hit Plat the first time.
When did you hit Plat? Like
ages ago. I think like 2018, 2019.
Okay. You ever hit Emerald?
No, fuck that. I don't care. My objective was to hit Plat once. I hit it twice, and I was like, I'm okay with this.
I feel it.
And I hit it before they changed the ranking system. But yeah, no. So the Unity has issued an apology, basically saying they're sorry. We have heard you. We apologize for the confusion and angst the runtime fee policy we announced on Tuesday caused. We were listening, talking to our team members, community. This is still loading. Community customers and partners, and we'll be making changes to policy. We will share an update in a couple of days. Blah, 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 blah. That was on September 17th. Go to Unity now. And then they also said, I think this was acknowledge the confusion. That was September 13th. Yeah, so the recent post was literally 2 days ago from when this podcast is being recorded on the 17th.
So they're not doing that shit no more, right? I'm assuming.
No, it doesn't say they're not doing it. They'll come back with an update.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, the first Descendant is out. The beta thing is out. Okay.
Yeah, I told you.
All right. Maybe I will try to sign up for it.
Long story short, if some of your favorite games are on Unity, I know some, like, I like BattleBit. It's on Unity. I enjoy it. I wanted to try out Call of the Lamb. I might scoop that up before the end of the year if Unity doesn't change its ways, and because if it does, and then I don't think I'll be able to reinstall that game ever again. So it has to stay on here. But yeah, essentially all Unity did was cause mass outrage for no fucking reason if they roll all this back. The worst part about this deal is that while it wouldn't affect the consumers directly at first, it definitely would drive a price increase for games as a whole on this engine.
Okay.
Yeah, so like you know how like we talked about the $70 in gaming.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine now it's $100 for a game that just came out that you don't even know if it's good or not because Unity has to have their cut of the engine license.
That's crazy.
So games that would normally cost $15-$20 would be $30-$35 just to anticipate a price like point increase, which then would just cause other developers to raise their prices artificially, just because they can make extra money. Because Unreal isn't doing this shit. Fucking all the other game engines aren't doing this shit. So why the fuck did Unity was like, you know what, we kind of suck, so let's suck some more. You know what I mean? Like it makes no sense.
That was some wild shit, dog. I ain't gonna hold you. That's some like even when you were telling me the math, you were like, all right, at 20 cents a download and you got 3 million downloads. I'm like, yeah, I ain't liking this math already.
It's like 15 million downloads. Like at the extreme, like it's essentially like a fourth of the profit of what y'all made. And that's another that grinds my gears. Like it's one thing to pay a licensing fee to use technology. It's another thing to profit off the success of your actual work. Like Unity is a tool. It's not a creation. Like, all right, imagine if I had to pay money to every single let's say all of a sudden my YouTube channel takes off, and the video editor I use, which is DaVinci, is like, hey, you have to pay money every video you render. Motherfucker, what?
Yeah,
what?
That's crazy.
What are you talking about?
I don't know how I feel about
I'd quit. You know how volatile YouTube is? Like, and most of the time, I'm not even making money off these videos. So what the fuck are you talking about? I have to pay money to upload these shit, to render this shit. Fuck that. Like, that's like, at no point does the tool doesn't become, it's no longer a tool. It's a live service. Like, they're trying to live service their own fucking industry. Like, that makes no fucking sense.
Yeah. Man.
But, that's all that we got on that. So if you guys have any, comments, concerns, you just want to say fuck Unity in the comments or wherever, you can comment down below.
For real, like this shit's crazy.
And this isn't like a go boycott every Unity game out there, because it's not the developer's fault.
Yeah.
This is legitimately a game engine's
proprietary owner of the engine.
It's like if Home Depot started charging you every time you swung your hammer, like, like that, motherfucker. You don't even you just sell me the hammers. Like, this is the tool I use. Like, you're not creating the fucking house or whatever the fuck I'm building. What the fuck? Like, it'd be like that. You get nickeled and dimed to the point where it's like you're not making any money. And like, why I use the $15 million example is like an extreme case. I feel like over a certain time period, smaller indie devs will hit that 200 grand threshold, and then they'll just start getting nickeled and dimed for something that doesn't make them a shit ton of money.
So, what do you think we should name this episode? What's a cunning name for the Unity thing?
Disunity. Not unified.
Ununified. I gotta look up the Unity plurals and stuff.
You gotta check out the Thorith.
Shit, let's look that up, man. So
you could also just title it 69 and then write nice.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice.
we could tell you in the title of what this podcast is about, but we're gonna make it fucking sex joke instead.
Facts. Nice. And that's just what it's gonna be. Nice. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, fuck Unity. We're gonna leave y'all on one thing before we end this shit off, man, because we at the 2 hour mark. I mean, we're gonna leave you off one little thing I think y'all might like, if you're like me. All right. So some Microsoft documents got leaked, man. There's a lot of leaks, dog. A lot of fucking leaks. They're leaking that apparently a stronger Xbox Series X consoles coming out next year. They're reporting that in 2028 we're going to be getting the next Xbox, and it's going to be like a stream hybrid thing. I don't know what the fuck that means. I think they might be trying to do their own Switch. That's what it seems like.
Maybe that would be
but fuck all that, because I don't really care for console leaks like that. I wait on those. But what I did see is apparently we're getting Oblivion and Fallout 3 remastered.
Is it remastered or is it going to be just like a full remake?
Look, I don't care. If they could get rid of that green filter that they put over everything in Fallout 3, you can have my money.
You know what's funny? There is Oblivion remake, and it's
Sky Oblivion.
Sky Oblivion. Yeah, I was like, wait, we have Oblivion at home.
I just don't know how to. I don't know how to mod, man.
You just download Nexus Mod Manager, I believe, and then just find the relevant files through the portal there, and then you can download a program called Loot, and that should organize your mods based on the load order, so it doesn't crash.
All right.
Yeah, no, when my cousin had fucking Skyrim on his laptop, we would mod the shit out of that, and we'd see what we can get away with.
I'm trying to do some stupid shit. I'm trying to put that 4K mod on. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get that joint.
Trying to turn it into a whole different fucking IP.
I'm trying to play Skyrim too. But yeah, man, we're gonna leave y'all on that, man. It's been a good podcast, man. We talked about a lot. The next podcast y'all should be getting, which is episode 70, should be the long-awaited music episode y'all been waiting for. Y'all been waiting for us to link up and talk about these albums. We're gonna get to it. That should be next. It may not be next, but that's what we gunning for. You know what I mean? Like I said, as always, make sure you guys follow me on Twitch. Check out our personal links down below. Follow me on all of my social media platforms. I'm going to be putting out a lot more work on TikTok and Instagram, and I'm going to be putting out some different content. I've been putting out a lot of Call of Duty content lately. I got some new heat about to drop because I've been working on other stuff. I'm working on
Starship Troopers videos, and then once I get that out, I'll be able to work on other shit. So
yeah, so you heard that over there, Couch Combat. Make sure you check him out. Also check out his personal YouTube as well, where he does Pokemon card openings. I think that shit is super dope. Definitely check that shit out, man.
You check out the recent one?
I didn't see the recent one, but it's in my watch later.
All right,
it's in my watch later.
Let me know what you think of the editing on that, because I do a lot of experimental shit on that channel too.
Okay, all right. Oh shit, the prototype joint. But make sure you check my boy Eknight out, man. And he's getting kind of consistent with the streams lately too.
We're going to stream it tonight.
What you playing tonight?
I can't get Lost Planet 2, but I'm going to get Lost Planet 3, and we're going to play that, and then we'll go back to 2 if I can get it again.
What happened to Lost Planet 2?
It's not on Steam, and I think it just has to do with the publisher developer dispute with the quality of the game. So I'm trying to figure out a way to either stream it. If I can get a Steam key, I can re-download it like I did with Evolve.
Because you had Lost Planet, you bought it.
I bought Lost Planet 1 and 3. I can't buy 2 off of Steam, so I have to
I see it. It's like message from Capcom where this issue shit.
So in order to bypass that, you need a Steam key, and I've been searching around and I can't find one. So I'm just gonna go to the third game, which I have played before, but I like to go back to some of these games.
The second game was legendary, dog.
I fucking love the second game so much.
Lost Planet 2 was like, dog.
It was so much fun. I remember playing.
I played it through you. You let me borrow that joint.
That shit was fun as fuck when I played it. It was like started off pretty like middle of the road, And then it was like, yeah, and then you got on the train and the fucking acre thing, and I was like, oh shit, and that mission was hype.
And it's
And
only
you
got a
could fucking
63 Metacritic.
grapple hook
Joe,
the fucking giant monsters and fuck the
Yeah.
shit out of them. I was like,
Yeah,
yo,
that was always my favorite part of that.
do a backflip when you were done shooting the shit out of it. I was like, bro, game was so fucking good. Mad as shit I can't get it on Steam right now. I just want to play it.
I might have to play through these games again, 'cause I don't think I've ever beat the first game.
Oh, I beat the first one. You're not going to beat it. I already tell you, the last boss is bullshit on like so many levels.
The second game, the second game was short, so I know I beat that, John.
The second game was short because you could replay to unlock shit.
Yeah, the second game was dumb short. I remember that.
Yeah.
But the third game I've never played.
Third game was interesting take on the series. I enjoyed it the way it was, but I know why.
I always thought this was a very interesting series.
I like the setting. That's all I'm gonna say. That's why I also compare Dead Space 3 to this game series, because it's like exactly like the way it was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was exactly like we were playing Lost Planet for like the first.
Oh shit, Liza P came out.
Oh yeah, that John dropped. People are like, it's all right. It's a good game.
It's on
apparently.
Game Pass, so I should get it. Maple Story's on fucking Steam. What the fuck?
Yeah, don't get it. It doesn't work.
All right.
The launcher doesn't work. You got to get it through the next one. I found that out a couple days ago.
Oh, you've been playing this, John?
No, I was told to download it and try it out, and it didn't work. So I was like, all right. So I uninstalled it.
Yeah, I'm downloading that first Descendant now. I'm about to. I think Coyote. I told Coyote. I said, it's like Destiny, and he texted me back, done. So we're gonna get to that. So hopefully on the next podcast I could talk about this game a little bit.
Yeah, I'm also gonna check it out.
Yeah, I heard a couple. Like I said, this guy I watched his podcast. He was talking about a couple months ago, and he said it was just like he said his only thing was it just took everything from like, and it's a Nexon game. So if you don't know about Nexon, like Nexon is like all their games are like free to play, but they're like they have some a lot of their games have some predatory shit in it. But for the most part, a lot of the games, like I play that kart game that they got, Kart Riders game. That's pretty like bare bones. It doesn't really ask for your credit card every 5 seconds or at all that I've seen. But a lot of the Nexon games, they can be kind of predatory, man. And a lot of people like to stay away from them because they're apparently, I think they're Korean or something like that. So a lot of people they be scared because they Korean.
Like, yeah, and they had that little issue with what's it called? The Tarkov medieval game.
What's that?
Darker and Darker.
Shouldn't have told me that.
No, you can't get it right now because it's off Steam because they're getting sued by Nexon. Yeah, I can't. There's a lot of shadiness involved on both sides. Like at first, I thought it was like them trying to bully an indie dev, but it's like apparently the dude stole assets from them or something like that. It's one of those situations where it's like it needs to get handled in court, and nothing that we could do or learn about will even benefit the situation. So it was an interesting game. It's basically medieval, like low medieval fantasy Tarkov game where you go in with swords and shit.
Dog, they going crazy with extraction shooters now, dog.
It's not a shooter technically because you're running around with a melee weapon. You can use a bow and magic.
I seen a dude with a crossbow. Like this shit getting wild, dog.
Yeah, but like the game was interesting. I wanted to try it out. It looked cool, but I also didn't want to drop money on it at the time. So I guess I missed my opportunity. But at the same time, I'm kind of okay with that. With all the shadiness is going on with it, so I'm a little right out and see what happens. But this has been episode 69 of the Infernal Gaming Podcast.
Nice.
We need to shut the fuck up now and go because I have to eat. I have to take a shit. I have not in that order.
Nice.
So have a good night. or day or morning or evening. And don't forget to subscribe, follow, whatever the fuck the socials that you're viewing this on.
Down below. Also, check out blackguygames.com, man. Get you some gaming news. You know what I mean?
Check him out. He's a good friend of the channel.
Get the fuck out of here. Peace. Nice.
Nice.